story. Knowing vocabulary is good. Knowing grammar is also good. But that's not the whole story. We need to know when and where to use these structures. Okay. Now when we say could, okay, could, is that present or past? When we say can, could, yeah, is that present or past?
Past, Doctor.
It's past tense, yes. Now let's use it in a context. Now, when we say, "Could you please pass the salt?" Could you please pass the salt? Now, is that past? Do I mean to express the past or
No.
the present?
Present.
Present. Now, what is the difference between pass the salt, can you pass the salt, please, and could you pass the salt, please? Now, these are three different structures. Each is used in its proper context to express the speaker's meaning. So the speaker has something in mind, he has a message to convey, and of course, he has to use the right structure in the right context. We need to be able to use structures in the right context, in the right circumstances, under the right circumstances. We need to use them. How we need to learn how to use them, when to use them, who to talk to. Yeah. So what is the difference between pass the salt, can you pass the salt, please, and could you pass the salt, please? Is there any difference? When would you use the first?
دكتور could you pass بتكون بمعنى طلب يعني if you may.
If you may. If
can
you
you
may.
About ability.
Which one expresses ability?
Can you.
Can you. And could you?
بمعنى if you may.
If you may.
Yes.
So it means that we have different degrees of formality. Sometimes, now when we talk to friends, for instance, we don't say, could you please pass the salt, or could you pass the salt, please?
Could you more formal?
It's more formal, yeah?
Yes.
But I mean, using could, the form could, does not mean that it's used in the past. It's a polite way. It's a polite way of saying something. When you talk to someone formally, there is a degree. It expresses the relationship, the type of relation between X and Y, the speaker and the listener. Right? Now, when we say shut the door, okay? That's informal. Yeah. You may ask your colleague, your classmate, your friend, your brother, to shut the door. That's okay. That's okay. It's not offending. But we can say, can you please shut the door? Or can you shut the door, please? Can you shut the door, please? Okay. Now, is that an order or
Yeah.
a question form? I mean, what is the intended meaning of the speaker when he says, "Can you shut the door, please"? Is he asking a question or commanding, ordering?
Ordering in a
It's
polite
ordering.
way.
Yeah, ordering in a polite way. That's very good. Yeah, ordering in a polite way. So we have different degrees. I mean, as we use language, we need to master not only the vocabulary and the structure, but we also need to master pragmatics, the pragmatic use of language, of vocabulary, and of grammar. So knowing grammar is something, knowing vocabulary is something, and using language in the appropriate context is another. So we need to master the pragmatic use of language. Now, for instance, in deixis, we have referring expressions. Sometimes we use personal pronouns. Now, we all know the meaning of I, you, and we. I, you, we. What is the corresponding Arabic words? What are the corresponding forms, Arabic forms of I?
أنا
Ana. You.
أنت أو أنت أو
You.
أنتم.
Yeah. Okay. So we have so many equivalents of you in English. Yeah.
Yes.
In English, we say you.
Yeah, you could use it singular or
You
plural.
may refer to singular, masculine, مذكر يعني. It may be used to refer to feminine, singular feminine. Okay. It may be used to express dual. You know what that means? Two.
Two persons.
Yeah, مثنى. Yeah. Dual. D-U-A-L. Dual. So we can say antuma. Yeah. And it may refer to plural feminine or plural masculine. So in some languages like Arabic or French, Latin, yeah, each person has a special reference pronoun. In English, we use you. You is used to refer to singular, plural, masculine, feminine, dual, masculine, feminine. Now, using you, for instance, have you done French? Are you doing French? Now, in French, for instance, we have tu and vous. Tu and vous. Tu means anta or anti, yeah, masculine or feminine. Vous means you, plural. Now, in certain contexts, we use vous instead of tu. Why? again, for pragmatic purposes. What does it signify? Now, when we address singular in Arabic, instead of saying anta or anti, we say antum. What does that signify? Suppose
You.
that I'm addressing a certain minister of education, say. Would you say anta or antum?
You.
That's English, because I mean in English there's no other way. You is used for all, singular, plural, dual, and masculine, and feminine and masculine, plural. Now in Arabic we have anta, that's masculine. We have anti, which is feminine. We have antuma, yeah, antuma. Now antuma can be used for both. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And we can have antum, you, antum, and
For masculine.
antunna. Antunna is used for feminine, yeah?
Yeah.
Feminine, plural.
Antunna. Yes.
Antunna. And antum?
للماسكولين. مذكر.
Muscular, plural.
Yes.
Now, sometimes in dialogue, in conversation, we use antum instead of anta, yeah, to show respect.
Oh, I was about to say that it's about out of respect.
Yeah, out of respect. So if you have, I mean, this reveals age. It reveals the rank of the person, the rank. So an employee would address his employer as antum, not anta. Now this is a pragmatic use of language. Now let's see the use of I and we. Yeah, I and we. Okay. Now sometimes His Majesty says, "We, the King of Jordan." We, the King of Jordan. Now, why is we used here? Not I. Why is it we, not I?
To give important.
Okay. What do you call this? This is a
Maybe
certain
التعظيم والتمجيد
there is a
بالعربي.
Say it again. That's very good.
التعظيم والتمجيد باللغة العربية.
Yusuf, yes.
Yes, doctor.
Say that again.
التعظيم بالعربي.
التعظيم. Now in English we call this majestic, plural. It shows the glorification, like God, for instance, in the glorious Quran, God says, "Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra." I was wondering, why is nahnu, inna nahnu nazzalna الذكرى وإنا له لحافظون. Now, of course, we here does not express plural, does it? Does that express plural or
No.
majesty?
No.
Majesty.
Majesty.
Yeah, it's majestic. It's majestic. Now, using this and that, this is the, we'll do this in depth as we proceed. Okay. There is a whole chapter on, have you been able to download this book, George Yule? Have you been able to download it? Pragmatics. You can download it for free. It's free of charge. Yes. All you need to do is just Google and download Pragmatics by George Yule. If you can't do that, just let me know. I'll send you a copy. I mean, you can download it. Okay. Right. So now, suppose that you have you are given a certain perfume, a gift. Yeah, perfume. Now, if you like it, you may use this. I like this perfume. But if you dislike it, although it's near, sometimes what do we say? Do we use this or that? Now
That.
this expresses nearness. That expresses distance. Yeah. Now, if you like something, you say this. If you dislike it, you may use that. This is another aspect of the pragmatic use of language. Okay, just a minute. More students joining. Okay. Right. Now, let's take other expressions. Now, when we say Brazil won World Cup, Brazil won World Cup. Now, sometimes we communicate more than what we say. We communicate more than what we say. So we have something communicated much more than what is said. Now, when we say, I read Shakespeare, I read Shakespeare, or I'm going to see Shakespeare tonight. What does that mean?
إن قرأت رواية شكسبير أو رايح أقرأ رواية لشكسبير.
Again, the first is okay. Again, is that Dina?
Yes, دكتور.
Yeah, okay, Dina.
إنه قرأت رواية لشكسبير أو بدي
No,
أقرأ.
I mean the first. I read Shakespeare. That means I read his works. Who is Shakespeare, by the way? Who is he?
روائي.
What's he? Is he a روائي or a playwright?
Playwright.
A playwright, yeah. He's a poet. He's a poet and a playwright.
Yes.
Yeah. So I read Shakespeare means I read his works or some of his works. I'm going to see Shakespeare tonight. What does that mean?
I'm going to see a play for Shakespeare.
Yeah, I'm going to see. I'm going to the theater to see one of his plays. Now, this is not said in the context, but listeners can easily guess what the speaker means to say. So using language is much more than just mastering grammar and vocabulary. Now, let's see how words are used in various contexts. Suppose that we have the word company. Company. What does company mean?
شركة.
شركة أو صحبة
again,
دكتور.
Yeah, is that Yusuf?
شركة دكتور.
It means sharika. Is that the only meaning?
لا دكتور في رفقة وصحبة كمان.
Yeah, okay, good. Right. What else? Sometimes, we are programmed to learn one meaning of the word. Now, if you look up the meaning of certain words in a dictionary, be it a monolingual or a bilingual dictionary, you may find up to 35 different senses or meanings of the same word. Now, what is the meaning of spring, for instance?
فصل الربيع.
Yeah, why is that the first thing? I mean, we think of one meaning, yeah? We tend to think of one meaning. Does it have other meanings? Okay, let's have a number. Now, what determines the exact meaning of the word?
The context.
The context. Very good. Yeah. Yeah, the context. So given a certain word, yeah, we can't tell what it means unless it's used in context. What do you mean by context? Context is the surrounding environment, the words that accompany that word, the words that are used with that given or particular word. So I think I need a spring to fix my bed. What does spring here mean? Would you say, Rabia?
زنبرك.
Yeah, Zumbarak. That's very good. Madaba has a lot of springs.
Yanabia.
Yanabia, yes. Good. Right. Okay. This problem springs from the fact that it's rather complicated. This problem springs from the fact that so and so.
تأتي من الحقيقة.
Oh, تنبع.
تنبع, yes.
Yeah, that's it, تنبع, yeah. So now back to the word company. Now suppose that somebody asks you, do you have a company? What does that mean?
هل تمتلك شركة أو هل تمتلك رفقة؟
Do you have a company? I mean, one of the meanings that is the common meaning, which is frequently used. It refers to an establishment. شركة يعني.
maybe تيجي معناها privacy. do you
معناها
have
sorry
privacy خصوصية.
privacy. Okay. Or
May دكتور.
a man is known by the company he keeps. In English, there's a proverb.
Yeah, it's head,
Which
head
reads,
company.
a man is known by the company he keeps.
Head
What does that mean?
partner. Or head
يعرف
friend.
المرء بخلانه.
بخلانه. Yeah, so it means it refers to one's friends. Yeah, and of course, I mean, different cultures use words differently because the language reflects the cultural background of a certain community. Now, if you happen to go to an English-speaking country, when you are asked, "Do you have a company?" that does not mean just a friend. It means a girlfriend. A girlfriend. And of course, as you know, a boyfriend and a girlfriend may cohabit. They cohabit without necessarily being married. So that's another meaning. That's another meaning of the word company. So company does not mean simply a friend in this context. It refers to it expresses a certain concept which may not exist in our culture. So mastering a language requires mastering the culture of the speakers of that language. What is the meaning of love?
ضحك أو يضحك.
No, love, not laugh.
love.
Love.
الحب يعني.
Yeah, okay. Now, when we say the result of the match was one love, what does that mean? This is frequently used nowadays.
They got a baby.
The result of the match was one love. Yeah, this is why I'm saying we need
يعني زي
to.
انتهت بودية.
It's not enough to know the meaning of to have an enormous list of vocabulary or structures. This is good, but what is more important is to be able to use these structures and words properly in the right context in order to communicate with native speakers. Yeah. So the result of the match was one love. What does that mean?
Maybe دكتور تعادل.
No, draw. Draw is تعادل. It means 1-0. So instead of saying 0, they use one love.
يعني كانت النتيجة انتهت بودية أو هيك شيء.
لا مش بودية، كانت 1-0. النتيجة كانت 1-0. So instead of saying 0, they say love. Okay. The number of, or the percentage of love children in some countries nowadays is 74% of the population. I mean, as translation major students, how would you render this? How would you translate it into Arabic?
دكتور ممكن تعيد؟
The percentage of love children in the world today is 74%. It's 74. So how would you run the love children?
ممكن نحكي إنه نسبة حب الأطفال في العالم هي 74%.
Is that who's speaking?
شهد.
شهد.
Yes.
نسبة again?
نسبة حب الأطفال في العالم
No,
هي 4.
it's not children love, it's love children.
من يحبون
He's a love
الأطفال.
child. He's a love child.
من يحبون نسبة من يحبون الأطفال في العالم هي 74%.
نسبة الأطفال الذين يحبون.
Love children. Not loving children.
هلا هون معناها مش حب صح؟
معناها الولد الغير شرعي كأنه.
أكيد إنه مش بهذا المعنى يعني لذلك this is why we need to study pragmatics, because part and parcel of it is the context, the contextual meaning of a word or a structure. Yeah. Now, in English, does the word bastard have a good connotation or a bad one?
Maybe good.
Bastard.
Bad one.
Bastard in Shakespeare's language means an illegitimate son. An illegitimate son or girl. Illegitimate. يعني ابن غير شرعي أو بنت غير شرعية.
Yeah, but they use it sometimes as an insult.
Yeah, of course, it's a swearing.
Yeah.
It's a swear. I mean, when you say bastard, in English, it's a swearing. It's a swearing. Now, this word has been replaced today by love child. So love child here means an illegitimate son or daughter. Believe it or not, I mean, this is how language reflects culture. I was reading some statistics a few weeks back, and I came to know that the number of love children in the world today in some countries is 74%. That's the number of illegitimate children. See what I mean? So hopefully this course will help everybody use language properly. This will reflect positively on your oral and written performance and on your translation skills. So you'll be in a far better position to translate well. Do you have any questions? We're running short of time. Time is running out. Yeah? Do you have any questions? I'll send you the summary. Does anybody have the summary of this course? Do you have a summary of this course? Does anybody